Men over 50, 6 primal movements to fix your body and boost vitality. Segment 1. Truth, eating clean isn't enough after 50. You can eat perfectly and still lose the ability to get off the floor without help. Stick around, I'll show you 3 longevity upgrades you can make this week and how they connect to 6 primal movements that rebuild real strength. Not for how you look, for what you can still do 10, 20, 30 years from now. Segment 2, why efficiency of effort is the whole game. Let's get one thing straight before we go any further. You do not need 2-hour gym sessions. You do not need a meal plan that bans bread, sugar, and joy. You are not 25 anymore. And frankly, you don't have the time or the patience for a fitness routine that treats you like you do. Here's the reality most fitness content won't tell you. After 50, the returns on smart, small, consistent effort go up, not down. Your body is more sensitive to stimulus now. A short, well-placed session of resistance work does more for you at 55 than it did at 25. A 10-minute walk after a meal moves your blood sugar more than it used to. This is good news. It means you don't need more time. You need better targets. That's the whole philosophy behind what I'm calling longevity upgrades, not fixes. A fix implies something is broken and you're patching it. An upgrade implies you're already running and you're making the machine run better, longer, with less friction. Every upgrade I give you today meets 3 conditions. First, it takes minutes, not hours, to apply. Second, it compounds. Small effort now, protecting a decade of capability later. Third, and this is the one most programs skip, it maintains your independence, not your six-pack, not your bench press max. Your ability to carry your own groceries, get up off the floor without narrating it like an Olympic event, and still be sharp enough at 75 to remember why you walked into the room. That's the standard. One more thing before we move on. Forget what you think working out is supposed to look like. Forget the idea that health after 50 means doing less, settling for less, and quietly accepting decline as the cost of getting older. That's not reality. That's just the story nobody bothered to update. The upgrades I'm about to give you are built for where you actually are, not where a fitness magazine assumes you are. Segment 3, longevity upgrade. Number 1, train your grip and carry. Here's an adjustment almost nobody talks about, and it takes about 5 minutes twice a week. Add a loaded carry to your week. That's it. Pick up something heavy, a pair of dumbbells, kettlebells, even 2 loaded grocery bags, and walk with it for 30 to 60 seconds. Farmer's carries. Nothing fancy. No coaching cues, no special shoes, no gym membership required if you've got a heavy bag and a hallway. Why does this matter more than almost anything else on this list? Grip strength is one of the single best predictors researchers have found for how long a man stays independent, functional, and mobile as he ages. It's not just about your hands. Grip strength is a proxy for your entire posterior chain, your back, your core, your shoulders, the muscles that keep you upright and capable. When grip strength declines, it tends to drag everything else down with it. When you maintain it, you're maintaining the whole system. Think about what grip actually does for you in daily life. Opening a stuck jar, catching yourself on a railing when you stumble, carrying your grandkid on one hip while you open a car door with the other hand, hauling in the suitcase, the paint cans, the folding table for the family barbecue. These are not gym movements. These are life movements. And they all run through the same system you're training when you do a loaded carry. The long-term payoff compounds in 2 directions. Mobility-wise, a strong grip and posterior chain means better posture, fewer back issues, and a body that's less likely to compensate its way into pain. And there's a cognitive angle too. Grip strength has repeatedly shown up in research as connected to brain health and reaction time as men age. Weak grip, slower reflexes. Strong grip, sharper responses. Your hands are more wired into your brain than most people realize. So, twice a week, 5 minutes, something heavy, walk. That's the entire prescription. No 2-hour workout, no equipment upgrade required, just consistency. A few practical notes so you actually do this instead of just nodding along. You don't need matching dumbbells. Grab whatever's uneven, heavy, and awkward. A single kettlebell in one hand, a loaded backpack, even a case of water in each arm. Uneven loads are actually better here because real life rarely hands you a perfectly balanced object. Start with a weight that challenges your grip by the 30-second mark, not one you could carry all day without noticing. And walk with purpose. Shoulders back, core braced, like you're actually going somewhere, not shuffling. If you want a simple way to track progress without turning this into a spreadsheet obsession, just note two things: how much you carried and how long you held it before your grip started to give out. Add a little weight or a little time every couple of weeks. That's it. You're not chasing a personal record for its own sake. You're banking capability, one carry at a time. Segment 4, longevity upgrade number 2, protein at the front of the day. Now let's talk about eating, but not in the way you're bracing for. No restriction, no elimination. One adjustment: move your protein earlier. Most men eat their biggest protein hit at dinner, a big steak, a big chicken breast, whatever's on the plate at the end of the day. That's backwards for a man over 50, and here's the honest reason why. After 50, your body becomes less efficient at using protein to build and maintain muscle. It's called anabolic resistance, and it means the old just eat protein whenever approach starts leaving muscle on the table, literally. The fix isn't eating more, it's eating smarter, spread across the day with a real dose, something in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 grams, showing up at breakfast, not just dinner. Think eggs instead of just toast, Greek yogurt instead of a bowl of cereal, a protein shake if mornings are chaos and you're not going to cook. That counts, and it takes 90 seconds. Why does this one small shift matter so much for the long game? Muscle isn't vanity tissue. It's your metabolic reserve, your fall prevention system, and your insulin sensitivity all rolled into one. Men who maintain muscle mass as they age, maintain mobility longer, recover from illness or injury faster, and are less likely to end up that downward spiral where a hip fracture turns into a permanent loss of independence. That's not dramatic. That's just what the data shows over and over. There's an energy angle here too. Protein at breakfast stabilizes your blood sugar for the whole morning. No more of that 10 a.m. crash where you're reaching for a second coffee and a pastry just to get through a meeting. Steady energy isn't about willpower. It's about what you put in the tank first. And this is the nod to healthy eating I promised you at the top. This isn't a diet. You're not cutting anything out. You're just moving something you're probably already eating to a smarter spot on your plate at a smarter time of day. That's efficiency of effort applied to your fork. Let's make it concrete, because vague advice is where good intentions go to die. If breakfast right now is coffee and whatever's fastest, here's the upgrade path. 3 whole eggs and a handful of cheese takes 4 minutes and gets you most of the way there. A scoop of protein powder blended with milk and a banana takes 90 seconds and travels with you in the car. Greek yogurt with a spoon of peanut butter stirred in covers the gap in under a minute. None of these require a cookbook. None of these require you to become a diet guy at the office. You're simply making sure the first meal of your day is pulling its weight instead of just filling time until lunch. And to be clear, this isn't about hitting some rigid gram target with a food scale. It's about direction. Right now, is your breakfast mostly carbohydrate and caffeine, or does it have a real protein anchor in it? If the answer is mostly carbs, that's your one lever to pull this week. Nothing else has to change yet. Pull that lever, watch what happens to your energy by 10 a.m., and let the results make the case for you. Our segment 5, longevity upgrade. Number 3, the 6-minute floor to stand drill. Here's the third upgrade, and it's the one that ties directly into the movements you're about to see. Practice getting up off the floor on purpose without using your hands for 2 minutes a day. I know how that sounds. There's a piece of research that made waves a few years back, how well a person can get up off the floor without using their hands, arms, or any support. Turned out to be one of the strongest predictors of longevity researchers had ever measured. Better predictor than grip strength alone. Better than a lot of things doctors typically check, because getting off the floor unassisted requires hip mobility, core strength, balance, coordination, and leg power, all working together, all at once. It's the ultimate full system test. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men over 50 have never tested this. They don't know they're losing it until the day they actually need it. After a fall, after tripping over a curb, after playing on the floor with a grandkid and realizing getting back up isn't automatic anymore. That's not a moment you want to discover a deficit. That's a moment you want to already own. So the upgrade is simple. A couple of times a day, lower yourself to the floor and stand back up. No hands, no furniture, no cheating. If you can't do it cleanly yet, that's fine. That's data, not failure. You'll modify. 1 hand down, then work toward none. 2 minutes total, split across the day. That's the entire commitment. The payoff touches every category that matters. Mobility-wise, you're maintaining hip and ankle range of motion that most men lose simply because they stop asking their body to move that way. Cognitively, this kind of complex multi-joint movement keeps the connection between your brain and your body sharp. Balance and coordination work is some of the best cognitive exercise there is, and it doesn't look anything like a crossword puzzle. And for energy and confidence, there's something that happens when a man knows without doubt that he can get up off any surface in any situation without help. That's not a small thing. That's independence, banked in advance. Segment 6, tying it together, what's next? So let's recap, because this is where most videos lose you in fluff. I won't. Upgrade 1, a loaded carry twice a week, 5 minutes. Protects your grip, your posture, your reflexes. Upgrade 2, protein at breakfast, not just dinner. Protects your muscle, your energy, your blood sugar. Upgrade 3, 2 minutes a day getting up off the floor without your hands. Protects your mobility, your coordination, your independence, full stop. None of this requires a gym membership you'll quit in March. None of this requires cutting carbs, cutting joy, or cutting corners with your health. This is efficiency of effort, the real kind. Small, targeted, and built to compound over the next 10, 20, 30 years of your life. And that floor to stand drill I just gave you? That's not standalone. That's the foundation for what's coming next. 6 primal movement patterns built directly around how your body was designed to move. Squat, hinge, carry, push, pull, and rotate. These aren't bodybuilding moves. These are the patterns that let you play with your grandkids on the ground, load the truck without your back giving out, and still be the guy who doesn't think twice before getting down on one knee to tie his boot. So here's the whole thing in one breath. A loaded carry twice a week protects your grip and your posture. Protein at breakfast protects your muscle and your energy. And 2 minutes a day off the floor protects your mobility and your independence. 3 small upgrades. 0 restriction, all designed to compound for decades, not just this week. If this gives you something useful, subscribe to Primespan after 50 and turn on the notification bell for another research-backed video on longevity science, vitality for healthy living. I'll see you there.